Okay, so allegedly we're live. Hey guys, if you're tuning in, this is our fifth live chat. It's we're using different streaming options, so we're hoping that it works. So if you're watching this, that's great. If you can't see anything, it's a work in progress. What is a noise, guys? Okay, can we cut it off? Okay. Okay. I think we're live.
Yes.
Wait, no, is this, why does it still say we're offline?
No,
mine says live.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so could one of you go on the link on YouTube just to double check if it was working?
Yeah, I'll go on there and keep an eye on the chat as well.
Where is it?
Monkey Mental UK, hi gentlemen, and he said it's okay. So,
cool.
I don't actually.
When I click on the link, it says it's waiting.
Yeah, same on mine. The event will begin in 13 minutes.
Okay. Do you want me to push it up in the YouTube then? I can try.
Yeah, it does say offline on the.
Okay, let me. I think what has happened is the event.
Oh, hang on, it's on. It's on.
I can try.
Yeah, it does say offline on the.
Okay.
Yes, it's online now.
Okay, perfect. So what we'll do is we'll chop off this bit at the beginning, and so that should be fine. Hey guys, if you're just tuning in, so I'm Michael, and I'm joined by Rob and Sam. We run a small Facebook group. Rob, would you like to take over us for what the group does and give a little context of this video chat, if that's okay? Sorry, I'm just chucking a hot potato at you. Just
yeah, took me under the bus, yeah. Yeah, we just run a like a what started off as a small sort of kind of eBay support group, really. Sort of 5 years ago, things were pretty much like walking on thin ice with eBay. So rather than sort of ring eBay and be told off for certain things that you weren't anticipating, I just started a group, and it's grown to sort of 2,200 people in 5 years. But most of that growth's been within sort of the last 18 months, really. Yeah, and that's it. So yeah, it's kind of a started off as eBay business sellers group, and then it sort of branched out to all sorts of people now. So yeah, it's quite a good group. I think people get quite a lot from it.
Okay, Rob, that's quite helpful. I guess it's we always will have the Facebook group, the core Facebook group. It's just there to so the people selling on eBay can have a place to find tips and find advice from other sellers. I think that's always useful. So this particular video chat is something we're hoping to do once every 2 weeks. So it's just something in addition, where we can chat about the things, trending topics, things that or sometimes just have a chat about nothing. Okay, Sam, it's you're there as well. Would you like to quickly today we're just deliberately trying to make it as unstructured as possible. So I'm a full-time seller, so it's I run a small company. We do some of the stuff on eBay. Sam, you're part-time, right? Would you like?
Yeah. I mean, I'm part-time. I have a full-time job. I run the online side of a business for my father because he is not computer literate. So yeah, I basically run the online side of things, and he runs the physical product side of things. Just want to bring something up quickly, guys. We've had a comment, and obviously we're going to reply to all comments that are put on the chat and things. Money Mental UK. I bet you guys have seen an influx of members since the hashtag Tatageddon.
Okay. Shall I take this? Okay, so thanks, Andrew. Okay, so the context, I think, over the weekend, I think nobody was expecting it. It's I think Nick and Andrea from the TAT group, I think they've made the decision to close their group. And so basically, I think they closed their Facebook group. All of a sudden, you had 4,000 people in that group. Suddenly, no groups. So I think some people try to create groups all of a sudden, and I think Robin and I, we just sort of made a link. Is that it's quite a supportive group to come over. We've had about 200 members or so joining, I think, all of a sudden. So it's quite a it's quite an increase in members for us, and I think for us part of it is helping to make sure the members actually do enjoy being in this group, because every group is a little bit different. I think we have a little bit more rules, if that makes sense, than some of the other groups. But it's one of the things that you go along and hopefully find out. Rob, would you like to take over? Sorry to chuck you under the bus again.
Can I? Can I just hop in a second?
Go for it.
Yeah, go.
Yeah. So basically, Rob, if you don't know where the live chat is, on the YouTube. If you're on your phone, on the YouTube page of the live stream, just underneath the video where you've got your thumbs up and thumbs down.
Yeah.
To the right of that, you've got live chat. Or you should have. Money Mental UK. You guys run a good group, so it's nice to see your membership go up. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I can't see that, but I'll find it.
I think it's one of those things. I think most of the groups is run by people in their spare time. I mean, for instance, we have our own jobs, companies, that sort of thing to do in our daytime. So whatever we do in addition, it's sort of in a volunteer basis. So it's part of it is keeping, making sure that we're sort of being helpful, but the other part is making sure it doesn't take too much time, because that wouldn't be sustainable for us. And again, I think it's a wish Nick and Andrea all the best going forward. I think they've got a massive YouTube channel, so they always have that. And I think one of their narrative is basically they want to focus more of their attention on that. For us, I think going forward, it's important to keep the group growing and keep it in a stable manner, if that makes sense, in terms of member growth. So we're always a little bit wary of a sudden sort of influx of loads of people, because that means for us there could be a sort of change in the sort of norm, that sort of thing. So we're sort of keeping an eye on it, and hopefully it's the members can get something useful from it. It's supportive. And Rob, anything else to add, or Sam?
Yeah, I think there was a lot of groups a lot of groups started on Sunday. People from the TAC group wanting to sort of keep it sort of reseller and start their own groups, which is great. I think some of them have done quite well out of it as well, so it's good. I mean, I'm not a reseller. Our business uses eBay to sell certain things, and I'm not personally a reseller, but I do join the reseller groups because I think some of the information in them it's obviously valid for most of us. I think you can pick up a lot of information. So I've said it in previous videos, I join as many eBay groups as I can, because you pick little snippets up that are relevant to yourself in it, don't you? So it's handy to be in them all.
I guess it's one of the things is that, imagine if you spend a little time posting advice, comments, that sort of thing in a group, and then one day it just vanishes. I guess there's some sort of cultural shock, if that makes sense. So I guess it's a similar thing. I think there's quite a helpful comment in the group the other day. Is basically, if it's not your platform, anything can change. Just like if you're an eBay seller, then technically you're working for eBay indirectly, because whatever you sell, you're selling using their platform. Sam, are we getting empty chaired by Rob?
Yes, yeah. I don't know where Rob's gone.
He's probably interviewing for the Tory leadership. I'm just kidding.
I've got a couple of things to say. Hang on, I've got to try and pronounce this. Mice Ivy says, "Hi guys, I think that's Fiona. I think. I could be wrong.
She's about to correct if you're wrong.
Also, Money Mental UK. I think people panicked a lot and joined every group going, but hopefully they'll stick with you and help the group grow. On that, I think that I think I can speak for myself, Michael, and Rob, and we say we openly encourage people to not just stick to one group. Rob's touched upon this before, and I think it's a good thing that people join the different types of groups, because from our group you'll get one thing, and then from a different group, for example, that's very strongly reseller based, you'll get something else. So if you can get all your little bits of information, combine them together, and get something from that. That's better than just sticking to one group and missing all the other stuff that information that you might be missing from other groups.
Yeah, I think Sam's point is really useful because it's about absorbing as much information as possible and trying to minimize any blind spots, so as to speak. Because then within one community, gradually over time, you notice communication is there's a norm, that sort of thing. And I think it's being in multiple groups, you sort of get a wider idea of what's actually happening. And I mean, especially if you think of when there's eBay updates, eBay policy, eBay change, that sort of thing. Let's say when the sort of the GTC, that sort of thing, listing sort of came in, I think there's lots of comments, I think, from our group, some of the other groups as well. Some of the common strands will always be there, but I think some of the groups will pick up more unique stuff. And I think in this particular group, I think we do have some really experienced people. I think really experienced people looking at it. I think so. I think it's quite good to. I guess Rob and I, we had some as well. Also, we had this discussion. So basically, we noticed that lots of the people were looking at the group, but we weren't quite sure if they're actually just looking or just kind of didn't want to reply anything. So gradually over time, hopefully more people are more comfortable with sort of writing things. If that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. I was right, by the way. It was Fiona.
Oh, good.
Yeah, no, I think that they're obviously going to be. Oh, Rob, do you know your microphone's muted?
Let me unmute. Or maybe he's doing it intentionally.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I do now. Cheers, mate. I didn't. I forgot.
I've lost my train of thought now as well.
Okay, so I guess part of the idea is basically, I think part of the idea is, as as a group gets larger, I think the content, the sort of volume of content. I'm not sure how long you guys want to stay on this particular one. Basically, the larger the group, the more sort of volume there is, and the harder it is to get through, if that makes sense. But I think in this particular group, there's quite specific, house rules, that sort of thing, is just to make everything simpler and clearer as for what should be here and what shouldn't. That's quite simple. Okay, have you guys got any related stuff on this particular thing? Guys?
Hang on a second, sorry, I'm posting on the Facebook groups. Hang on.
And Rob, it's
I think my your voice is lagging to the visual on my end, Michael.
Okay, let me check. I think today, because we're using a slightly different streaming thing, hopefully it's better. I hope. Let me just double check. Right. Okay. Right. So let's just move forward. So even apologies if my bass and audio is out of sync. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that seems to be working okay now.
Okay, that's fine. I think in our group, I think we've, if we can just sort of, I think there's a few trending topics, I think, over the last maybe a week or two. I think occasionally you sort of see people sort of saying, this is brilliant, reaching a new sales record, it's 11K. And then sometimes some people say, I'm down 50%. It's, I guess each seller is different, right? It's in that sense. So it's, although sometimes you sort of see on the whole eBay as marketplace, the sales, that sort of thing, reduces slightly. I guess over the longer run, you have got to focus on what you do yourself as opposed to too much of what other people do, I guess, right?
Yeah, I think it has been quiet on eBay, but you have to look at what you're selling, don't you, and how it's presented, and images and descriptions, prices. Obviously, is the main thing.
Yeah.
And I've been since eBay's introduced it, I've used Therapy like every day, and it's just an amazing tool, absolutely amazing. I mean, for what I do, it's amazing to find things that actually sell, which you just wouldn't believe they ever would. You can really sort of delve into whatever you want, really. I mean, do you use it, Michael?
Not yet. It's still a little bit stuck with the customer service. I'm half joking, but Rob, so how can you tell me sort of when you use therapy, how do you sort of structure the day? Do you just block out maybe 1 or 2 hours to just do therapy and research and stuff, or how do you manage the sort of therapy, that sort of research?
I'd love to say yes. I'd love to say, oh yeah, I do it a couple of hours a day, but it's just not. It's just like I've got it open all the time, and I'll sort of do 10, 20 minutes, and then I'm on to something else. But no, it's I've kind of made.
I guess it's good to know that the feature is quite sticky, that it's quite attractive. It keeps getting you back, coming back, if that makes sense.
Do you know what? I used to use it
when it was fully featured.
Sorry?
When it was fully featured, you mean?
Well, I used to use it before it was sort of given to you when you had the sort of featured an anchor shop. I actually used to subscribe to it, but it used to be a lot more complicated than what it is now.
Yeah.
Don't know if you ever used to use it. It's really simplified now. So whether that's a simplified eBay version, I don't know. But
I think before, so the context is, I think eBay bought the company that did Terapeak, and there was a while. Rob, I can't hear you. Oh no, I'm sorry. It's looking at a different screen. So I think for a while you had the same feature, but I think quite quickly they made the data feed going back only 1 year instead of 3. So all of a sudden it was less features. I think some of the more subtle features when it got ported to the as it is now, from £120 product previously, which was paid, to the current form, which is free. Some of the features disappeared.
Is there still a paid for product out there or not?
I don't really know. I imagine it would be the same as what you get for a business seller. I could be wrong.
Well, you used to be able to sort of dive in on your competitors and see what they were selling, what they'd sold, and like their average prices. Sorry,
I think you can still do that, but one thing, obviously, with the sellers' names, they're blurred out. So I think you get the first and last letter of the seller's names.
But you used to be able to actually put in the name of your competitors.
Oh, okay.
And their shop names, if you knew. Sorry.
If you think of it this way, it moved from a position whereby, let's say, really small proportion of richer sellers, in terms of not richer, but just kind of high revenue sellers who were able to afford it. It moved from a position to a position where any seller, in theory, business seller, can use. So I mean, it's understandable if there's less features. I mean, they can always add more features in the future if people use it. But I think it's interesting that I think maybe they decided actually some information is a little bit creepy to be able to find. I mean, that's the thing. That's a really nice thing with finding a tool, early on, because there's features that is like it's brilliant. But then imagine if everybody has it, then it just sort of I mean, one of the side consequences, I guess, of the feature peak, well, Terapeak, is just if you make everything really comparable, then from a cynic's perspective, then things become comparable and become a lot more price driven. That's really helpful if you already have the scale. But if you're a small seller, it's not necessarily as great. So it's interesting, and hopefully more features show up over time. And
you say that it probably is not as great, but actually, it's surprising that actually some things make a lot more money than what you thought they would. So it's kind of it equals itself out. Some things that you probably think would. What are you laughing at?
Sorry, Graham is just. Have you seen the comments?
Yeah, the comments. So Money Mental UK. Terapeak is ace. The only problem I find is that there isn't an app. There is an app. I've got it on my phone, but I've not used the app for a long time. The last time I used the app, or when I downloaded the app, it was when it was before eBay took it over, and it became a part of your business subscription, and it was terrible, and that's why I've not used it since. It was really rubbish and basic. Yeah. Now things have changed, and like you said, Rob, it's got simpler and things. They may have changed it. It might be worth me logging onto it and checking it out. But there is an app. There is. If you search it on Play Store, it's on there.
If you haven't got it, Sam, it's well worth it.
Oh, I've got Terapeak. Yeah.
Oh, you have.
Terapeak.
Right.
But, one of the people in the chat was saying that they wish that they made an app, a Terapeak app.
Oh, right.
There is one. There is a Terapeak app.
Because I'm just going to be back in like 1 minute. Just keep talking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Graham Nichols, eBay appointed a new manager in charge of resellers who has made it his mission to give us more tools to aid research. He used to work with day traders, so he knows the value of accurate data. Yeah, that's promising. Yeah, Money Mentor UK.
So it's true, isn't it?
Look it up. Definitely look it up.
You know, at the end of the day, it's eBay's a business. We've all got businesses, and we need to. Yeah, we all need to make more sales, and eBay needs the commission. So it's it's win-win really.
Yeah, Hannah Dragon has.
Michael, your microphone's off.
Okay.
Yeah, he said he'll be back in a minute. Oh, he's back.
Yeah, he's back.
Okay. Yeah, I guess it's moving from a position whereby only the more seller with more resources are able to afford these sort of market intelligence, that sort of thing, to a position whereby a lot more people are able to do it. I think that will make the platform quite a bit more efficient. And
Michael, sorry.
Sellers to grow.
Sorry, Michael. Yeah, Hannah's just sort of back to what I just said, really. I find Terapeak lobotomized since eBay brought it a few years ago. Logged onto it last week and it's unrecognizable from what it used to be when I paid for it many years ago. Yeah, it is. That is right. A lot of the features have gone, but I suppose now it's eBay owned. Yeah, that's what they've done. But they have simplified it. It's just that you can't really delve into your competitors' business too much now.
Strong word, but I totally get what you mean.
Is that the difference between a paid service and free service, though?
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I don't know whether it's still.
There may still be a paid subscription where you can access that.
Paid alternative. It's what is it? Shelf something.
I'll have a quick look now.
We pay maybe $15 a month for that. So it's a Shelf Trend. Yeah, that's the other one. We still find that you can go a little bit deeper with that than, let's say, Terapeak. Well, maybe not, of course, but it's just for some specific things that you want to do. It's helpful. Obviously, it's not free, but it's okay. Right, guys. Is there any in the comments? I think because I'm streaming, I can't really look at the YouTube channel at the same time because I think it might slow the stream down, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, I'm keeping on. That's why I'm a bit quiet at the minute. I'm just watching comments and things.
Yeah.
It's just going back to Hannah's comment there. Yeah, the paid for service has still got everything that it used to have.
Yep.
It's got a lot more information on it. There's let's have a quick bear with me 1 second.
What was that, Rob?
Here you go.
Oh,
can you see my screen?
We can share screen. This is brilliant.
Yeah.
You can hit them with your tabs, right?
We've got to stop talking now, though, Michael.
All the tabs that you don't want to be seen in public, you've blurred it, right? Just any sort of sourcing, any that sort of thing, etc.
Sourcing? No, there's none of that there. Yeah, yeah, that's it. That's the subscribe service. So I haven't actually checked the price. Actually, let's check the price.
We need to stop talking, Michael, because it's skipping the screens.
Yeah. Stop talking. You're stealing my thunder here. I'm trying to do a tutorial here, boys. Right. Okay. That's enough of that. It's taking too long. But yeah, there you go. You can speak now.
Okay. Right.
Screen sharing. What sorcery is this?
We've moved to a slightly different software for this one, so it has more features and it allows people like Rob to play around with it and give tutorials. It's
Michael's just absolutely died inside since I did that. It's like this was not on the agenda. What's going on?
Sorry, I'm not used to unstructured chats.
Michael's trying very hard. He's trying really hard to hold it together.
Where's the agenda? And you banned me from saying that term.
No, you're not allowed.
Oh,
guys.
Yeah, Karen.
Hannah has commented. Has anyone any experience with shelf trend? Have either of you guys heard of that?
No.
I personally have not heard of that one.
We pay for it, but it's one of the things you'd rather not speak too much about because it's really good. The only comment I would make is the data accuracy on that is limited. So basically, if you look up a particular person and you look up their revenue, not all of their sales would appear. So it's only partial data. So I think one of the things with Therapeutic is the data is probably more accurate than, let's say, with a third party, but I don't know. I don't know the intricacies. So it's useful to use it to get a sense, it's of what somebody does, the top items really quickly, really straightforward manner. It's not expensive. So basically, my only sort of suggestion, if you do get that sort of thing, is basically get yourself one of those new Challenger Bank debit cards. So each time they convert money, because shelf trend, they charge you in US dollars. So if you actually pay for it with your UK bank, they usually charge you maybe £1 conversion fee, which is annoying. So each year you can potentially save like a tenner. But sorry, I've gone off the mark. Is there any comments?
Oh dear, now I've been lobotomized.
No, that was a bit laggy.
Oh, no. What? Oh, what? What do you mean? I don't get what Hannah means. Rob, how are you managing to both do screen share and comment on YouTube? I mean, this is amazing. It's like you're much younger now.
Listen.
What happened, Rob?
Much younger. I know. I'm only 21.
What is a technology savvy Rob? This is refreshing. Yeah, Hannah, it's fine. It's great that there's lots of tools out there. There's some that gives you a competitive advantage, that sort of thing. There's tools that, I mean, it's one of the things that if you shop, the bigger the shop, I guess, it's like it's the same sort of thing with sort of going for web designer, sort of consultant, that sort of thing. The more business you currently have, the more momentum you have, the more optimization that could be beneficial. So things like shelf trend, that sort of thing, it helps you to target new product range, that sort of thing. Anyway, I think I probably said too much.
I don't know. I don't think so. Hannah, I don't think you've been silly to say that at all. I think that's the whole ethos of the group, really, isn't it? I've personally learned something tonight that I'm probably going to look up, and that's probably anybody that watches this video, that can be transferred to them as well. I think that's great. I don't think it's bad at all.
Okay.
No,
so
that's
so
it's going to be a massive spike.
Efficiency. Okay.
I'm going to have a quick look at shelf trend now.
Oh God.
Rob's going to be screen sharing in a minute.
Okay. What is this? What is this? See you guys. Bye.
It's pricing. Right, let's have a look at pricing.
It doesn't say much on the homepage, but it's actually a really useful feature.
Michael, you're giving away some trade secrets. That's
I know. So shall we go back and cut this off? I'm just kidding.
This is the new and improved video. Like I'm doing screen shares. Michael's sharing. He's sharing his.
Excuse my French. I think I just cursed.
Business tips.
Anyway, okay. So, hey guys. So this is, sorry to change the subject slightly completely. If you guys have watched before, is the quality okay? Is it comparable to before? Is it better or worse, etc.? If you can just let us know in the YouTube comment, that'll be helpful. It just gives us a sense if we might keep using this one, or if we might need to keep swapping. But I think this one looks okay so far.
Yeah, this one seems to work really well.
Any comments?
Yeah, you're not having any.
Oh my God, Graham says no biscuit for you, Michael. Wow. 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 I'm not happy anymore. Anyway, we're done. Just kidding. Right. Have you guys no, can't talk about that.
Yeah, Fiona says the chat seems okay.
Good. Have you guys ever tried the sort of eBay? Sorry to change the subject completely again. Have you guys ever, not the eBay storefront, but have you ever changed? Have you used the sort of eBay listing template?
No, I've never used the templates. No, have you?
Still thinking. Probably no.
No.
Okay. No. Okay. Because I guess it's really makes it look more professional. But I guess the idea is if it doesn't load on mobiles, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Also, I was under the impression, I don't know where I've heard it, but I was under the impression that eBay don't like the HTML coding and things like that on the listings. It's better if you just use eBay's template. That's what I heard, but I don't know how true it is.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons I've not looked into it.
For the comments, have people just decided to put it on YouTube then? Okay, I guess that makes sense because okay, that makes sense.
What, sorry?
For the comments, have people just decided to put it on YouTube? Comment section as opposed to use the Facebook one.
Oh yeah, they've been commenting on the YouTube section. Yeah, it's not an issue.
That makes sense. And okay, how about this? In the future, is maybe spend a few minutes talking about the sort of not controversial posts in the group, like in the last 2 weeks or so.
What, like which ones?
Let me think. Nothing. Oh my God. No, there's Fiona's cards. No, not that one. That's not really controversial. Yeah. Did you guys get lots of glitch last week? Like sorry.
Yeah.
Did I miss something?
Well, somebody posted on the group saying that there was an outage, didn't they?
Yeah.
Or asked if there was an outage. That morning, I had been on the eBay app and it was fine. As soon as I read that there was an outage, I thought, well, went on the eBay app, and lo and behold, there was an outage. It didn't work. But a couple of hours later, I checked it again, and it was working.
I mean, I remember reading the newspaper article. I think it's one of those things they reported site-wide outage. I think was it last Thursday or one of the other days, and I think the whole site wasn't accessible. And I think that's quite a strange one, especially if you're listing stuff, selling them, and you're using the platform and relying on the people to get there. I guess one of the things is you're never quite sure if it's related to the new features that appeared shortly afterwards, or if it's just something else. But usually I imagine it's probably related. So if some features gets launched and if it has some teething issues, that sort of thing, then you might have some glitches.
Is that the official cause that there's been released? Is it that there's background work going on?
You know, in your setter hub, so now you've got this complex order number, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I've noticed that. Only on some of the items, though.
Adjustments to make it more easy, I think, to promote stuff. So I think where your listing team must be getting more development time, because I mean, even in a company as large as eBay, I imagine there's only limited resources for making new features.
Yeah.
So it's always sort of, I imagine, a competition between, let's say, different teams, sort of for limited resources.
Yeah.
So I mean, when you first think about it, I've got a strange impression that, for whatever reason, I thought that the Terapeak was going to appear in seller hubs. I imagine it might still do, but it's just now only on website. So I mean, all the things.
It was Terapeak that appeared, but it was Terapeak information. It was the graphs. On the old seller hub, like the old My eBay homepage, then Underselling, you'd have what was it? I can't even remember now. But on the end, on the far right, there was applications, and if you clicked on that, then you'd be able to find graphs, and it said at the bottom that all the data was from Terapeak.
Ah, okay, that makes sense. And if you think of the okay, that makes sense. Okay. Was there any other interesting posts? No, they're too controversial.
Okay, there's been a shed load of comments. I wasn't. I was on Facebook, on YouTube. Graham Nichols. I use templates every day, combined with macros to speed up listings by a factor of 20. Yeah, macros is great thing to do. Fiona, we've got different order numbers and better options for sending offers, etc. That's appeared on my desktop. Yeah, I've noticed more complex order numbers,
Yep.
but again, as mentioned, only on some of them, not on all of them. I don't know what that's about, but
Yep.
yeah, okay. Hannah, developer resources are booked 6 months in advance at eBay. Graham, as an ex-programmer, I know that the features that are added / change the system get switched off for periods in order to make the changes. You cannot change a live system. Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, it's probably something to do with that.
So I mean, would you rather than you get a notice to say that between 8 and 9 on this specific day, eBay is off?
I would have thought
you can be quiet on, I imagine,
outage between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. rather than.
I think there was a post, I think, looking back, it was some early days, referring to early days in Facebook. They would always sort of do it. This was when they was rolling out features in really early days in Facebook. So they would just sort of try to do it at midnight, then sort of if it by 4 or 5 p.m. then it crashes the whole website. And it's just sort of trying to it's really work culture. Did somebody else get a sale just now?
Yeah.
That was Sam again. Sam's been going off all night.
Can you just maybe switch it off? I mean, you're making everybody here jealous.
I'll put on mute now.
I'm just kidding. Don't. It's good to hear that noise, that it's still switched on. Okay, I think Hannah said that developer time booked 6 months in advance approximately. Wow, cool. And okay, that makes sense. And how have you guys, Rob, have you, I think last time we mentioned this briefly, did you try to make offer to your watchers thing yet?
Yeah, no, it's not worked for me, that.
Okay, cool. I guess for your category, the sort of used stuff, parts stuff, it's the need really correlates to when you really need it. It's not necessarily the price.
Yeah, it's more need than desire sort of thing,
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
it's my favorite sound in the world as well, Graham.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, I've tried that, sending offers to watchers, and what I've noticed is you need to send about 400 offers to get one buy.
It does seem to depend. I think some people have done really well because I think some is really suitable. I think Fiona's had success with it. Sometimes it doesn't seem to bite. I mean, for us, we tried it and we just decided. Because I think it's a sense that how fair is your price? So if you want, I mean, the most fair way is basically have one price. Change it if you must at some point, but basically stick to it. Have no secondary price, no sort of best offer, that sort of thing. That would be the fairest way to do it. Whereas if you think, if all of a sudden you do things like make an offer at a reduced price to a selected watcher, then yeah, that's fine. It can help you get sales. But I think from a sort of principal's perspective, it means that particular price is not accessible to the masses. And it's different people look at price different ways, I guess.
So just a different, going off on a bit of a different direction, but
that seems to be what's happening all day today, Rob.
I know. Just tomorrow when you wake up, this will all be over, and you'd have lived through it, Michael. You'll be all right.
You're sending me pizza, Rob.
It's going to be a rough ride.
Yeah. Couriers. Do you use couriers, Sam?
Not at the minute.
Right. Okay.
But we have been looking at it, and I've been pricing it up, and you guys might be able to answer this question for me. I've been looking at prices, and it's all, from what I can see, it's all on weight. I've been looking if there's certain dimensions and this, that, and the other, but I can't find. I looked up on, I'm not going to say any names in case I'm not allowed to, but I've looked up a few couriers, and on all of their websites, there doesn't seem to be anything about dimensions. It all seems to be about weights.
Okay, you don't need to say the courier name. You can just say what letter it starts with, and we'll get the idea.
Well, one that starts with P, one that starts with D, one that starts with U, and one that starts with F.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense.
F.
Yeah. Ends with X.
Oh.
Yeah, those people.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, I did used to use that one. They delivered parcels to the wrong house in the wrong street. Like, they were a bit of a nightmare.
Okay, I guess it's useful to add the caveat. I feel I must add
My personal experience.
Rob's personal experience. It in no way represents the view of us or nor the group, and it refers to experience only. Moving on.
Yeah, you can string me up for it. I'll take it. It's fine. Right, I'll take this from here. Right, okay. So
Sorry,
we've used like virtually every courier, I think, under the sun, and the one honestly consistent one that we've used all the time has been TNT.
I've not looked those up.
I'm sorry. That is the worst name possible. Sorry.
No, I don't. I genuinely, honestly.
That's the worst possible name.
Yeah.
What do you think when you say TNT?
I think I don't know. We have literally used them from day one of us ever shipping parcels, and yes, we've got. Okay, I'm going to say the names. We've got. We use Dispatch Bay because it's a really easy system to use. It's really easy, and it links with your eBay, so your consignment numbers go up and everything once you print the label, which is a lot easier for us. And then which is Parcel Force. Now, some people absolutely detest them, but our experience has been, we've actually just gone back. We've trialed a website called Low Cost Parcels, and their dashboard, their system. Our driver was excellent. He was brilliant because he was a franchisee, so he went that extra mile to make sure, because obviously he's building his business, and we trialed them for about 4 or 5 weeks, and they're basically their main courier is Yodel, and it was shocking. It was absolutely shocking. When you have on this, I'm not going to do a screen share because I haven't got the logins, but the dashboard, as soon as you go in, what they've done is they've picked the best pieces out of the sort of areas that couriers, that they must have seen this stuff. Whoever's designed it has obviously come from the courier industry, and they've said, right, this dashboard needs to be a world beater. It needs to be at the top of its class, and it is. So
this is
sorry.
This is Dispatch Bay.
No, this is Low Cost Parcels.
Okay.
But the only thing that was letting them down is their choice of courier, who they're sort of contracted with. Now, they say that they don't just use them; they use other couriers as well.
I mean, the thing is, Rob, you can have a really fancy chocolate teapot, but the thing is, if you pour hot water into it and it melts, then what's the point? I'm sorry, it's 1% vindictive, but it's just basically you want the courier that's going to work for you, right? Surely. And yes, partly it's down to money, but
yeah, it's what he was calling the last mile. He's saying he was on the case, and he was calling the head office of this company, and he was chasing, and he just said, if you get any issues every day, just support ticket, and that's what we was doing. But it was just getting so regular that the marginal savings that we made, we were spending on chasing up phone calls, emails, and things like that. So we went back to Dispatch Bay because we never had an issue with them at all. TNT, good. DPD, really good. Until they lose something, then they don't want to know.
Oh, okay.
In my experience,
Yeah, I've had experience with DPD in the past, not through eBay. And they've been really good when I've dealt with them.
I think DPD is a good standard, I think, generally in the UK in terms of the features, the network.
Well, the 2-hour window with DPD, it's just brilliant.
On the app, it even gives you the driver's name and a photo of the driver.
And where they are.
That's
fantastic. Right.
Back in 2004, 2005, they were a few years ahead of the competition. Now you're seeing the competition making more of their features, sort of not making, just kind of imitating. Like Romeo recently started doing the estimated time, but instead of 1 hour, they give you like 3-4 hours. We've seen that from Parcel Force a few years ago, maybe a year or two ago. But yeah, more of the features spread across other sort of couriers. I think that's expected. But I think it's just find something that's suitable for you and try to optimize it as much as possible. The thing is, basically, ideally, you still want to have that relationship with a account manager in a courier company. I mean, you can, get these dispatch by this and that, I think, generally. But the thing is, the relationship is between them and the courier company. The more you do, the more that helps them. Whereas you do, yourself, eventually you can get better prices, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it is. TNT, though, I mean, they are one of the biggest logistics companies in the world, and they don't use any kind of you can't track the goods. They just say it's just out for delivering things.
I think when you're the largest, you can afford to be I can't say the word complacent, but you know what I mean. You can be I can't say arrogant either. You can be you can prefer status quo. You have the thing that can take time to erode away. Well, the more lean competitors take time to erode away, you still have the business of the larger companies. With large volumes, so you're not really worried. But yeah, it takes time. How do you guys find shipping to Europe? Do you guys do it, or you guys
just global shipping?
Okay.
Global shipping.
A lot of people have got a lot of bad things to say about the GSP, but I've not got a single bad thing about it.
Ours has been really good. Michael, are you looking for somewhere to ship to Europe, someone to use potentially in the near future?
I can't really say much here.
No.
Global shipping is good. We currently use a courier. I think in theory, whatever courier we use, we just need to change the postcode, and they do year-wide shipping. But the thing is, with GSP, they cover quite a bit more. Not necessarily more, but it's just more peace of mind, just in case it gets damaged. You just rather.
Before the days of global shipping, we used to use UPS, and you know, they were one of the best couriers we've ever used. They were really, really good. And when you get a good sort of domestic rapport going with them, and you're sending things, sending plenty of freight with them, they're European. It just can't be beat. They're so good, so good.
I mean,
but I say we don't need to use that now.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay. So,
just rewinding then. So basically, what I was looking for when I was looking at these couriers' websites is I was looking for parcel A, which is going to be set dimension by set dimension by set weight or maximum weight. Parcel B, parcel C. I was looking for different dimension ranges, sort of like the Royal Mail operate. But I couldn't find any of that. How do you guys?
You tried Parcel to Go.
Pardon?
Have you tried Parcel to Go?
Sorry, I was just laughing at Graham's comment there. Don't give anything away, Michael. Just hint through the medium of dance.
I'm laughing on the inside. Is that UPS?
Michael, you've got to do that.
Or is that a Hermes man losing parcel? Is that Hermes man losing parcel, Rob?
Sorry?
I wasn't sure what your dance was inferring to. It looked like Hermes man dropping parcel.
No, it was David Brent's. I'm a big Office fan.
I feel like there's a generation gap between us.
There's no generation.
Sam?
I know what that is. That's Ricky Gervais. Have you not seen that?
Of course not. Of course.
I know this business.
Michael hasn't got time to watch comedy.
Anyway, moving on. Okay, so it's careers aside, I think Rob, what were you talking about before previous to this? I think it's a shelf trend, right? Yeah.
Shelf trend, yeah. Sorry, it's gone too west for you, hasn't it?
We need to get that out of
Graham's comment about dancing. I think that was a one step to.
I think we kind of. I think we covered the shelf trend.
Cool. Okay.
Is it time for another? Is it time for another screen share?
It might be. It might be. I can feel one coming on.
Okay. Yeah, Rob. Just make sure. I think usually, going forward, I think I'll use the stream computers. I think everything on there will be, what you expect. I think looking at a large text channel, what they sometimes do is accidentally show a little bit too much, like show their show notes, that sort of thing, which isn't supposed to be seen by public, that sort of thing. I think that's a risk. Is I imagine, oh, here's Rob's favorite supplier. Here's Rob's number 2 favorite supplier.
No, it's nothing like that.
Keeping balance.
Lisa just touched on mentorship.
Sam, this is
mentorship.
Yeah.
The M word.
Yeah.
Sam, would you like? Sorry to interrupt. Sam, would you like to do a screen share for mentorship?
Mentorship.
You like?
Winners. Mentorship. Winning.
Sam, what's the dance expression? Artistic.
Oh, you doesn't have a clue what that is. Right, hang on. Let's get back on track a minute. Where were we?
Be expanded as well. Topic.
Okay, mentorship. So yeah, I put a post on the group a couple of weeks ago about the mentor program on the group, and it's basically you go on there, and if you think you have skills or something that you can share with other people, or you're just willing to help other people, become a mentor. And if you have certain things that you're not very confident about, or there's certain aspects that you'd like help with or advice and things, then go on there and by all means sign up for a mentor. There are mentors on there, and they're all on there for a reason. So they basically, hang on a minute. I'm sorry, I'm just reading the.
The mentor can also turn into.
Okay, this is.
So basically, yeah. So you can go on there, become a mentor, or apply for mentor, and I think it's going to be invaluable. And as we've just acquired a new sign, you can't win a mentor.
This is brilliant. This is brilliant. You should go.
It's either mentor or talk.
Anytime
mentor. Before you started,
of me, like
Graham, what have you started? Great. 3 people have just turned into a.
This is far too childish for Michael.
No, it's true. I enjoy it.
He said,
"You people, it's thoroughly enjoyable." Okay, I feel like
Oh yeah. Jesus!
It's Graham. Thank you for watching. Send me biscuits for Christmas. It's
Oh.
I think right. If yeah, no.
Yeah, we've.
Did you guys see the? I'm not sure if we're allowed to mention this. Did you see the Karen's post about the misleading advertising thing? Not misleading, but just kind of in the group.
No, I've not seen that.
Okay, cool. Never mind. It's in the group.
For some reason, the group's not loading. I don't know why.
Okay. Cool. And
one thing I'd like to add. This is to anybody that's on the group and has been complaining that sales have dramatically dropped. there's probably going to be a wide, there could be a number of factors that could impact that. And as me, Rob, and Michael were talking about earlier on in the week, for example, if you're selling sun cream other than today, if you're selling sun cream earlier on in the week, you're going to be quiet. If you're from where I'm from, it's been raining all week, so you're not going to sell it. Also, competitors and things like that. There's so many factors. Asking why sales are down is such a broad topic that there is no straight answer for, because just taking myself, Michael and Rob as an example, we're in 3 completely different sectors. And if Michael's sales goes quiet, it could be a completely different reason as to why mine or Rob's might go quiet. So yeah, just basically just sticking that in there, that's all.
Yeah, I think it's what Sam said, and I think usually it's helpful to have a think of what your actual past year performance was like, and maybe take the present one with a pinch of salt. And although as a company you can endure, with the same product you can endure certain performance every year, but I think especially with some faster moving segments, if you don't keep getting new stuff in, it's harder and harder just to get the same price. So I mean, it's a tricky thing, and I think one of the things to recognize is also when you sell something that's based on the decision you made in the past. So product choices, listing, photos, everything else is what you've done in the past. What you're currently doing is going to shape the sales figure you have in the future. So do focus on quality where you can, and it's one of those gradual, continuous process of improvement. Okay, so I think Graham has said, Sam, you do the best voice for the YouTube chats. Would you like to?
Do I?
Yeah, you're brilliant.
Listen to it back. I'm pretty sure I'm the worst of the 3, but I love it.
It's Graham's, I think, latest comment.
On a serious note,
water
numbers. I don't make anything of them because I don't use them. Well, only to track orders. If, for example, somebody emails me or messages me on eBay and I need to look it up, I'll use the order number there. But other than that, I don't personally use the order numbers for my shipping or anything. Do you, Rob? Do you use your? No. So, and have you noticed the order numbers changing, Rob?
No.
So, okay. So basically, hang on a minute. Let me try and get some up.
Is it screen share time?
No.
I suspect it's one of the things a large volume seller would notice, and also it's the other thing is basically if it affects your accounting software, that sort of thing. Otherwise, you can change as much as you like, but
yeah. So now the order numbers have gone from solid numbers, which were how many you've sold, I think it was, to a 2-digit number, then a dash, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-digit number, then another dash, then another 5-digit number.
So is the capacity the same, even regardless how many dash you add?
I'm not sure. I don't. No, it's not. No.
It's the same, right?
So
no,
is this in your sales screen? You can see these.
Yeah, on the order screen. No, it's not, Michael. It's definitely not, because they're not in chronological order. They're not in.
Oh.
No, it's not.
You're using number in different ways.
Okay, so
it's one of the things. If you think of early telephone numbers, so it's, imagine if you had 4-digit telephone number. There's only 9,999 options. No, that's 5. But no, that's 4. But the more sort of digits you have, the more options you have when it comes to multiple quantities. Well, if that means eventually they'll start adding numerical ones.
Yeah, I'm just looking now. I found one of the older order numbers, and it is. So, say for argument's sake, you sold your 15,000th item. That order number would be 15,000. The next one would be 15,001, 15,002. Now they have got some sort of different. It's changed, but Graham has commented. Yeah, it's like Hannah said that it's like Amazon using the dashes. Yeah, that's correct. I don't know what the meanings are of the 2 prefix numbers, then the 5. I don't know. They've obviously got some sort of meaning. I'm not sure what that is. But Graham has said, I have an internal system which I wrote to my business. Now the numbers are no longer incremental, making it listing awkward internally. Yeah, Yeah, I can imagine that would cause you issues, Graham. Yeah.
So
I don't know what they mean.
I'm still trying to find where these numbers are.
Okay, so Rob, if you go on your Seller Hub,
Yeah.
So you on there now, and you on the overview tab, are you?
Yes.
Right. Okay. So where it says overview, to the right of that, you've got your orders.
Yeah.
Then hover over that, go down to all orders.
Yeah.
And your orders will come up, and on the left hand side it'll have actions, and then it'll have order details, and there you've got your order number. So basically it's 2 numbers dash 5 numbers dash 5 numbers. I don't know what they all mean.
Okay.
Are yours with the dashes, or you? Because some of mine are still on the old system. Some of my products are still on the old system.
Mine are 5 numbers.
Just 5 numbers.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So they're still on the old system then.
Okay.
And if you notice, Rob, are they in? So if you take 2 orders, one number will be plus one of the one below it. Is it?
Yeah. Pretty much.
They're in numerical order. They should be in numerical order.
Yeah.
So when you first started, it would be order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it just goes on and on and on.
Okay. So the SKU number.
Yeah.
What does that represent, and how can you use? Because I'm obviously our stock system produces its own tags and tag numbers for our parts.
Yeah. So your SKU is your own personal identifying number.
Okay. So if you had several items of the same.
Yeah. Okay. So if you let's take socks for example. So you had 3 pairs of socks, a red, a blue, and a green.
Yeah.
Your SKU could be socks red, or socks R, socks B, socks G. So socks R, socks red, socks, and so on. Yeah. And that's how. Hang on, we've had some comments. Numerically incremental made it easier to spot missing ones. Now it is anyone's guess. Yeah, I mean, they don't even the first 2 numbers. So, for example, my last 2 orders, the first 2 numbers before the dash. On one order is 25, the order under that is 15, the order under that is 19. So I don't know what they're about. I'd imagine at some point it will be released what they mean, but I don't know at the minute. Have you read anything on it, Michael?
It doesn't really affect me. It's just basically as long as I export the invoice correctly, I'm not unhappy.
Hang on, Fiona, Michael, you look totally blown by the socks. That was a good example out of nowhere. When I was explaining about the SKU. Yeah. Fiona, yeah. Michael hasn't even been here for the last 10 minutes.
What's your name again? Young man with
Oh well. So yeah, what's
Okay, cool. Okay. We exceeded 1 hour somehow, and somehow people are still watching. What? Okay. At what point do you guys go for beyond eBay? Just curious.
do we?
Like, was going beyond eBay always sort of part of what you do? I think for Rob, I think it's probably true, but at some point, would you see yourself having your own, like, not eBay shop?
Yes, yeah, but it would be under my view on it is it would be under okay, let me think about this now. The only time we would go outside of having an eBay shop is if we were looking to supply as a wholesaler. I think to supply individuals with consumables as we sell, the volume of traffic that eBay offers, for us to create something that's 0.5% of that will cost us absolutely a monumental amount of money.
Yeah.
So for us personally, for us to go outside of eBay and leave eBay leave eBay and set up on our own. It would have to be a different type, so set up as a wholesaler or something.
It makes sense because I think
Started a motorbike up in the front room.
Yeah, someone's just started a motorbike outside the house.
I guess it makes sense because I think it's eBay stuff. It does quite well in a particular structure, particular format. So once you get out of it, you might need new product, might need new business model.
Yeah.
So it's good to keep it. I guess it's keep it while it's braiding and but keep expanding. I guess that's
definitely. Oh yeah, definitely. And obviously, like I've said this before in other chats, I think it's very, very important that you don't just stick to one platform, because if something happens, heaven God forbid, to that platform or to your account with that platform, and that's your only source of income, you are in trouble.
Yeah, I think it's eBay is the only option for some people, though, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. But then you say that there are alternatives. I mean, not everybody with products that certain people sell, they can't sell certain stuff on Amazon. But you've got stuff like Gumtree. There's all sorts of. I know that's not quite like an eBay, but
with other platforms, there's different challenges, if you like. As in, you have to actually make yourself look reputable to the buyer too. I mean, on Gumtree it might be easier because you're just selling stuff and you have to actually physically meet them, and but on the other platform it might be a little bit different.
And also, I think one thing in the future, another platform that is currently a platform, but it's infant stage. Then is Facebook or social media. Then I think that is really going to mature, and that's going to get big.
Rob, sorry to interrupt. Have you guys looked at the Facebook digital currency? I didn't read into it.
Yeah. It's going to be
massively change things. I think
it's going to be. Yeah. Sorry. From what I can sort of read into, it's going to be like the first mainstream cryptocurrency, and it's going to be huge. Yeah. So watch this space, because I think Facebook are just going to absolutely take over the world. Do you know what? Genuinely, Mark Zuckerberg could be the world's first trillionaire out of this. It's going to be ridiculous.
I think it's going to be Bezos.
But with this currency, honestly, it's going to be crazy.
Okay, guys, and just don't forget, right? You know, we've been talking about Therapy as eBay's marketing tool.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if eBay sets up some sort of platform, the marketing that they've already got available to them?
Facebook.
They know everything. They know where you are, what you like, what your dog's name is. They know everything. It would be.
What do you mean? Sorry, explain. So basically,
so Therapy to eBay. Okay, so if Facebook Marketplace set up as a proper eBay type platform, okay, and they used Facebook marketing to so you can target audiences, this, that, and the other. They could integrate Facebook marketing with the platform.
Could you imagine if the two combined?
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's exactly what I mean.
Explain. So basically, if you look at eBay product at the moment, it follows you onto Facebook, right? Sometimes it does.
Via Google.
Yes. No. So basically, if you, what's the best way to think of it? So basically, if you, let's say, saw an umbrella and somebody looks at it, goes on their Facebook, it follows them through the cookie, right?
Yeah.
I imagine that's probably not Google, right? That's probably Facebook ads paid for by eBay.
I don't know how it all works like that in the background. Don't know the mechanics of it.
Yeah, but okay, yeah. Makes sense. But yeah, no, with eBay, I guess part of the constraint for them, and I think that's what's quite enjoyable for the sellers, is that they actually don't do their own stock, as far as we know, unless it's through packaging material, which is indirect. But imagine sort of as soon as they start getting into any platform, getting into doing their own sort of in-house products, that sort of thing, it reshapes your marketplace, doesn't it?
Yeah, but what I meant by it is, so for argument's sake, if you've got somebody selling a certain car part, using Facebook, you could technically target every person in the UK that owns that type of car.
Yep. Yeah. it's almost like the two camps have pieces missing that the other one has.
Yeah.
And
It's
if
not
it was
cheap.
to join,
Facebook is not cheap.
Sorry?
Facebook is not cheap to advertise, but what it relies on, of course, is for people to keep getting glued onto it. I mean, one of the things with Facebook is they're so not keen on doing, charging people for the membership that people actually have to read these actually really annoying ads. I mean, I don't like reading ads, but at the same time, I wouldn't pay Facebook each month to get rid of the ads. So, I mean, that's a tricky problem. So, I mean, for Facebook, the currency thing, I think, is a good pivot in the sense that it would actually get them to put in their payment, but then you realize all of a sudden lots of things in life becomes commoditized. So imagine if you run a YouTube channel or Facebook, large page, and instead of not getting any payment, you get paid in sort of whatever amount of time people spend there. That's probably the way it's going. I mean, that's a bit scary. And all of a sudden, merchants, let's say Apple, that sort of things, can probably start selling stuff. Oh, we accept currency and we'll ship it to them. I mean, that's great. But I mean, the constraint is basically you are hoping that they will still be popular. I mean, Facebook, the usage is among younger people, it's just kind of reduced. So now it's all Instagram, etc.
Funny you say that. We do some
Instagram
advertising
Instagram.
on Facebook. Sorry.
Okay, sorry, I'm just pulling your leg. Sorry, I was being.
No, we do some advertising on Facebook, and yes, that does go through to Instagram actually. But that's through targeting audience with certain demographic, and when you look in the analytics for it, the Facebook adverts have the highest bounce rates.
Okay.
So there you go.
Question. I think I think Hannah mentioned that a Facebook Marketplace. You imagine sort of Facebook Marketplace plus PayPal. That'd be useful. But then all of a sudden, this sort of pivot doesn't really quite work for them now. They've got their own cryptocurrency.
Oh yeah. The cryptocurrency is going to take over from that. PayPal losing eBay and cryptocurrency spells trouble for PayPal, I think, but potentially. Yeah,
and it's an interesting one. Okay, guys,
I don't know what's going on in the back.
I'm conscious of the time.
He said it.
The whole thing's just cut
so well, Michael.
What you know what I mean? It's been
so
been 1 hour and nearly 15 minutes. 1 hour and 15 minutes. What?
This is you through the medium of dance.
Oh, I get it.
No, just look. Press the button. It's time to go. Press the button. Press the button.
No, but you do it, dear. You hung up. Oh wait, you can't. No.
I can't. Dear.
I've returned into a really childish thing. I apologize, people. This is unstructured, but I think going back to the topic, I think one last thing before we go. I think shall we talk a little bit more about the group? Maybe 1 or 2 minutes. It's just kind of what kind of thing people should hopefully insights people can use it to find, etc.
Yeah, I mean, if no one using a sort of easier platform to do the video chats on, it'd be good to get some of the people on, some of the members, and
yeah, definitely.
If you don't mind talking about your business, if you don't want to talk about business, that's fine. But if you're kind of open to it, you don't have to tell everybody your figures or where you get your stuff from. But if you fancy jumping on, just let us know, and it'd be good to get people on. We did do some group chats, didn't we?
Yes. We had one-to-one chats before, but those were private. So no, last time, but it was close group, if that makes sense.
Yeah. We could. You could broadcast those live group chats.
Basically, it's like it would be seller story. It would be like Rob Sam, I, and the seller sort of just having general chat about their sort of seller story, success so far, that sort of thing, how distance have accomplished, challenges, etc. Things like that. It could be sort of inviting sort of people like panelists, like what we've done with Julius. I think that was quite helpful.
Yeah.
I think Julius talked a little bit about his VAT work, and also I think it changes the dynamics a little bit on the chat. I think if Sam, Rob, and we keep doing this, it just might it might turn into too much of an inside joke, if that makes sense. So we're just keen to open it up over time, and in practice, I think also one of us might be away in a week, so it would be good to have other people here as well.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll gradually invite.
We just say when I'm not around, it all goes to pot. So
it's true.
On that terrible disappointment, it's I'm sorry, no, that'd be bad.
on this platform, it will be spot on. So in actual fact, we do need to get Fiona back on. So we just need to.
Fiona, are you there?
Fiona, if you're there and you're listening, we need to get you back on Google Hangouts and it'll work.
We've changed platform, Fiona.
Yeah,
it'll be a lot easier this time. We promise.
You screen share and you can not use agenda.
I think that's the highlight. I think that's the highlight of the night, isn't it? To be fair, it's the.
I think I died.
The screen share tutorial. I think that was like.
Died, Rob. It's
I don't think we've got any watches now, so let's cut there because I think we're just rambling to ourselves.
Okay. Okay. In interviews that you can sort of pretend that you've cut, and then sort of you haven't actually, but the other person thinks you've cut. But then I'm just kidding. No, let's not do that. That'd be funny. Okay. Cool. When shall we do this again? Knowing the software is better. 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think 2 weeks is good.
Good. We don't want to burn out. Anyway. Lovely to have you guys watching. Sorry to go on a little bit too long. And Graham, thanks for watching. It's cool. You guys.